Yo, what up, fam? And I gotta say this 2 times because actually, Chani is my family. So, what up, fam? This video is gonna serve 2 purposes, more than just my normal conversation, but it also serves the purpose, and I want people to understand that although me and Chani disagree as far as religion is concerned, we're still family. We're still respectful towards each other. I've never disrespected her. She's never disrespected me. When we was out by her way, me and my brother, we had a great time just being family, which shows me that it is possible for people to have a disagreement as far as religion is concerned, but yet still remain civil, still have family ties, still be friendly and respectful to one another. We had a huge discussion in here last night at the Cigar Lounge, and I'll talk about that in the next video. But I did want to talk about what Chani is saying. How is God hidden when he created everything? Some people will never know God because they refuse to believe in him in the first place. And I can understand how people say this. And the fact of the matter is, even myself, I say that I recognize that my best hypothesis is that there is a creator. So I cannot prove it by fact, but I can say it by estimation based on the amount of evidence that is present. So I can look around at nature and I will say that there is a creative mind at work. There is a creative energy at work. But this is where the difference starts to come to play. Whose creator is it? You see, a Hindu person can look at nature, they can look at everything in creation and say that a creator exists. But is that Brahma? A person who practices Ifa would say it's Odamare. And so on and so forth for whatever religion it is. Part of the discussion that we had in here last night is that I expressed that one of the things that we do is that based on the religion that we either were born into or were converted into, we then force all information, force all logic, force all thought to fit that narrative. When we're presented with something that may go against what we would normally, against what we believe, we have a tendency to ignore it or to reconstrue it so that it still fits within our narrative. Since we're talking about the evidence all been around us, even though the young lady in the video that was saying that, asking God why was he hidden, he didn't mean hidden by the mere fact of believing in a creator. I believe what she meant was that God is hidden in the fact that so much is going on, so many beliefs and so many different gods and entities and deities and no entities and no deities, that if he just showed up, then people can just believe. That instead of leaving it with these vague prophecies, with these vague stories, and these stories with 0 eyewitnesses, just show up. Just show up. You show yourself to Abraham. You show yourself to Isaac and Jacob. You show yourself to Adam, but then that's it. Then you stop showing up. You show yourself to Moses in the burning bush, which first it says that it was the angel that was the burning bush, and then it says it is God. So make up your mind. But you don't show up, is what I believe the young lady was saying. If you showed up, it would end the discussion. Just show up, ends the discussion, so that everybody will know. And then tell everybody which book to follow, religion to follow, if there is one, or what they should do. And that would be it. Because every book has been edited and re-edited and translated and retranslated, additions, subtractions, all done by man. And each one claims the inspiration of their deity. So who is for as much evidence there is to believe one religion, there is as much evidence for you to believe another religion. Every religion has prophecies that they can claim that has come true. And people like to say that the Bible is the only book that has prophecies that's been fulfilled. But you can never know that if the only book you've ever read or the only book you've ever studied is the Bible. That was one of the things that happened here last night. A gentleman said, that to the extent that the Bible has all these prophecies that have come true. And I was like, have you read the prophecies of anybody else? And they have not. And since they have not read the prophecies of anybody else, then how can you make the statement that the Bible is the only book that has prophecies that has come true? Nostradamus has had prophecies that has come true. Edgar Cayce has had prophecies that have come true. The Hindu Vedics have had prophecies that have come true. So every religion, and even those of non-religion, have had prophecies that have all come true. That being the case, if you've never studied any of the prophecies, then how would you ever know that yours is the only book that has prophecies that's come true? And all these prophecies are vague and can be applied and have been applied throughout time immemorial. But as far as things being hidden, why hide? This is the reason, one reason why I like the Gnostics. It's all about knowledge. It's all about uncovering and revealing. Revelations is supposed to be a book about revealing, not a book about damnations and horror and all that. But apocalyptic writing was very popular at the time. So you have Revelations now for us not meaning revealing, but to mean condemnation and damnation. But as far as seeing God, no one can actually prove that they have seen a God. Everybody is believing the accounts of other people, and none of the accounts are written by the eyewitnesses. People will say that they saw God in a dream. It's not provable. That one gentleman on my TikTok page has claimed that he's seen God in person. And I told him, I said, does that not violate the aspect that said that no man could see the face of God and live? Although Jacob wrestled with him. But at the end of the day, nobody can prove a deity. That deity actually exists. And that deity is the deity of creation. It might be the demiurge for all you know, but nobody can prove it. I can make the case for the demiurge being a lesser deity that manifested the material world than a person can for the supreme, the Ogdo, the monad, the Father, whichever name you want to give it, has been this creator that have created everything. An argument can be made for both sides. So what does it really come down to? It comes down to belief and faith. And belief and faith is something that is not supported by data. And when it's not supported by data, it can't be claimed as fact or true reality. It is only fact or true reality for yourself and no one else but yourself. And then, yes, there are others who come along in agreement with you, but even those who come along in agreement with you will have differences of opinions as you go through the process, which is why you have all these different denominations. You will claim that fact and evidence is the Bible itself. You will claim that it is all the writings of it. You will claim that it is the vague prophecies. But cannot someone who is Buddhist claim the same thing? A Hindu can claim the same thing. The Muslims can claim the same things. So your claim is not so individualized that no one else could claim it. And when they make the statement that who else has a deity that has died for your sins, well, there are others, but that's when you're forcing everybody to measure their religion based on what your religion is, which is an unfair comparison, because then they can turn around and actually do the same thing to you and measure your religion based on how theirs is measured and says that yours is lacking. You don't have enough faith to do the works of the Muslim, but your book says that faith without works is dead. So the Muslims pray 5-6 times a day. You do not pray 5-6 times a day. They have all their rituals. So let's not measure comparison. But if whatever you do makes you happy, keeps you a solid person, stay right there. But I love that me and her can have disagreement and still be family.